Crazy. So did you work together or something like that? That's how you got it connected.
All of us together? We all knew each other in different ways. Me and Taz, they used to live here, but me and Taz have known each other the longest.
Okay.
Maybe 20 years or so.
Oh wow.
And he and his partner, they wanted to farm what they do here. And I wanted to be on land. The other people wanted to be on land.
Jeez.
And right now, I'm the only person living here. But at one point, there were like, I don't know, 4 of us living here. Four, like 3 households living here. So everybody lives within like 5
days. Okay.
Um,
Oh, they were all from this area.
So this is Sierra Negra Farms. That's their space.
Wow.
But you can see the passion.
Yeah, that's Florida.
Yeah. You see the bees on there. It's funny. It's cool to watch these because you can see how this is like perfectly designed to be with the bees. This is the pollen. These are the anthers. And so when the bees brush, you can see it brushing their backs. You see it?
With the pollen on the back.
So it brushes their backs. It's so cool to see the design. So as they move around this, it's like brushing their back.
And they get what they need and vice versa. Yeah.
So this will produce a fruit, and they harvest this for the flowers. I don't get it.
That's medicine.
It is, but to me the fruit's more important than the flower.
Okay.
Right? I would use another thing. I would use another plant to get the medicinal effect.
Okay.
But if you take off the fruit, you're not gonna have no flower. I mean, if you take off the flowers, you're not gonna have any fruit.
Yeah.
I think the fruit is exciting, exquisite.
Way more important than that.
To me, to the effects that you would get from them, because this had a sort of a sedative effect.
The seeds, the flower,
yeah.
But even the leaf, though.
Even the leaves.
You can use
so
the leaf.
To me, the flower is not the most potent part of it.
Wow.
Yes,
Here's the chicken.
yeah. You want chicken?
Blackberry. What'd you say?
I want a chicken so bad.
Oh yeah, they're fun.
Intelligent.
Yep, very intelligent.
Yeah.
Hello, lovey.
This is black cherry.
Yeah.
Hello, lovey.
The leaves, you can tell right away.
Yeah, the leaves and the smell. It's getting big, and I'm glad that it's getting big because I'll be able to harvest from it soon.
How long have you had it? Like 2 years?
Oh yeah, this is maybe 4 years old, 5 years old maybe.
What are they producing in there?
Here? Inside the fence? That's the septic field. This is ginger.
Oh wow. It's for here, or are they selling it out?
No, this is just for us.
Beautiful.
So this model that they use here is called what they call a farm share model, and so that people pay a nominal fee to be here, and everybody works on it collectively. There's no like, this is my bed, this is your bed.
No, everybody has to.
And then you harvest the
water and do.
Then you harvest it together. So
So
everybody shares the.
Do you bring people in like periodically to come and do?
Yeah. So the people who sign up to do it, they come out here and do the work.
Okay.
And then there's like a staff person who's doing other stuff.
Corn. Producing seeded watermelons over here.
Where some of the stuff is stored, and also Mouse Central.
Yeah.
Basil, sweet potatoes,
Oh wow.
buckwheat, some random peanuts.
How far back does it go? Mm-hmm.
It's 48 acres.
Or 48.
So basically all the still action.
You said peanuts, buckwheat.
And then gourd world.
Also, how many like big gourds, small gourds, round gourds?
Like birdhouse gourd. I think in the past people have grown those from bean boughs, but you have like a capoeira.
Oh, okay.
Capoeira.
That's what I did, capoeira Angola for a long time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
The people
capoeira
you
stuff.
can do capoeira Angola. This is hibiscus.
Yeah,
And this is, I think this is scent leaf.
hibiscus.
Yeah, this is scent leaf. Referring. Hibiscus, if I had thought about this, if you were staying longer, I would have made you
Some
the
hibiscus.
house of dish, the hibiscus, the hibiscus and pumpkin dish. Me on tao shake.
Yeah. Oh, bok choy.
Mm-hmm.
Got some bok choy in there.
Yeah, on your sort of mustard greens over there.
Yeah. I'm interested in the like small things, the weeds and the things that grow here.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the stuff I want to see and know.
Okay.
Cause that's the stuff that people don't realize is around them all the time.
Yep.
You know.
What is the blueberry?
Mm-hmm.
Page.
Blueberries. Corn.
Corn. There's watermelon out there.
So is it purple corn or is it like just regular sweet
I don't know
corn?
which one it is. I don't know which variety they do this yet. This is excellent corn.
Mm.
That's called Cherokee White. Let's call them the Cherokee White Flint corn.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's the best corn I've ever eaten. It's so delicious. Grind to make beautiful cornbread.
Mm.
Perfect. Elderberries, a lot of elderberries here and a lot of elderberries on the other side.
Yep.
I think we mostly let the birds get them this
The
year.
berries.
I've never seen so many birds in one place. It's amazing.
What kind of birds usually fly in around this area?
Mockingbirds, robins, the deers, all the sparrows.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the cultivated space.
Okay.
And then,
How else did you get people coming working on this space?
I probably pretty much all the time, but
Okay.
um,
And mostly local?
what'd you say?
And mostly local?
Yeah. And then this is my space.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Medicinal, my native plant garden.
Yeah. This is the road. Wow.
Place where the
Cosmos and
I usually don't do anything. I work basically from August to I basically work from like November to March,
Mhm.
and then I don't do any more work in these gardens. If I've done what I'm supposed to do, then they're gonna be fine.
Yep. So you get a lot of mullein out here too, right? Don't you get a lot of mullein?
and so we don't grow that here because we just go harvest it. It's everywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't bother growing it. There's no need to. This is wild quinine, one of the big heavies. This is not for the casual herbalist.
Now you get jacked up.
Yeah, I used this when I had COVID.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. And there's another we have two species of that one here, and they're both extremely powerful.
What are you pulling up?
This is called burnweed,
Uh-huh.
and we actually eat this. But it's a little too far in late in the season now, but you get it when you burn.
Okay.
Also good for hemorrhoids.
Mm.
Called powwort sometimes.
Power. Mm-hmm. Oh, powerwort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to come and start weeding because it's almost time, but I'll likely just burn this. Get rid of the weeds. This is, of course, goldenrod, of which there's a bazillion
Mm-hmm.
varieties.
Yeah. Blood purification and
Yep.
all that good
General
stuff.
tonic.
Yeah.
It's it's one of those plants that it's You can take too much of it, but it's hard to.
Mm-hmm. This grows a lot in California too.
What, goldenrod?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's sort of ubiquitous.
Yeah, goldenrod grows a lot in Cali.
You'll see it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But all this, none of this was here.
Okay.
I planted almost everything that you see here.
Is that what's the name over there? Like lamb's ear? Is that,
No,
what is that?
this is
I didn't see it from here.
Cudweed.
I look like it's feathery from back there.
Yeah, people always ask that, but it has that kind of look to it. But this is called cudweed, and I don't know what it's. I want to say that it's got something to do with blood,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't remember exactly what its action is. I don't really use it, and just because I haven't used it yet, because I haven't eaten it yet.
Right.
But you keep these things around for when you need them.
And then they need everything else around it. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right. So, and it's also the.
Ewe koje.
Eh.
It's called ewe koje.
Ewe koje.
That's I mean obviously oxalis, but
Yep.
ewe koje. That's for keeping the head, reforming the head. Ewe koje.
Ewe koje. Ije koje. What's the word? Say it again.
Ewe koje.
Koje.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
It's common all over.
Yeah. You can find that pretty much everywhere. This is a great one that you're not gonna see anywhere. That is one of the nightshades.
Oh, with the black.
The black fruit.
Yeah, we had that in California too.
Yep. So this one,
Big time in Cali.
local people, local indigenous people here will eat this.
Mm-hmm.
They eat the leaves.
Yeah. I mean, nice shade you can really jump into like that.
Yep.
Except for potatoes.
Yeah, right. We also eat this. This is called dayflower. So I use this and when I'm eating, when we're having draw soups.
Okay.
So I'll put this in okra. I'll put this in ogbono soup. It's kind of got a little bit of a slipperiness to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I only put it with draw soups because I don't want to be adding that kind of slipperiness when it's not drawing.
That is not necessary.
No. What else we got in here?
There was a plant that I saw. Is that plantain?
Oh, I'm sure there's one.
No, that's not plantain, but that's. Oh, you know what? So there's a form of lemongrass that's growing all over, and that's the one that I was. I meant to bring it with me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have a strong smell. I was wondering what variety that was.
Okay. You see it? Or...
I pulled one. A little nettle in there. I saw it and I was trying to identify it from that way. Do you have milkweed too? Is out here too, right?
Yeah.
You got a milkweed.
And I don't grow it in this garden. But this is just across the street. So sometimes I don't grow everything because it's in the area.
Right.
I don't need to do that. So this is so many weeds. So many weeds. This is a Japanese plant called Gorilla that I've actually seen Japanese people eat.
Mm-hmm.
But it is invasive and I really do not like it. This
It's like a cosmos.
also this more this dayflower. Also not native.
Mm-hmm.
But this is called hoary mountain mint. Taste this.
It's called what now?
Mountain mint.
A mountain mint. No, I think we was ordered some of this and put in my mom's garden. That's what's that.
So that's
Mm.
sinus issues, gum issues, upper respiratory stuff, topical. I don't suggest drinking a lot of tea out of that because it is very strong.
Like bitter wise or
It's
like
got a lot of
astringent?
volatiles in it that you don't need to be ingesting that much of.
Okay.
Right? because you can taste how all the volatiles are at the surface.
But it
You know
just
what I
comes
mean?
immediately hit
You don't need to boil that for a
sour
long
glands, nothing
time.
like that. Yeah,
You'll hurt yourself if you do that.
for real. I can see it as a mixture though.
Yeah. So I use it as a mouthwash,
Yeah.
topical,
I can see
Vicks kind of thing. It's got that kind of vapor rubby kind of taste to
And
it.
can you feel it inside the gums too? So probably helps too. Kind of stringent.
I planted a lot of that.
Any like St. John's wort and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Did you? I saw a lot of that up around the we was driving around.
Yep. So let's see if I can point it out. There's so many weeds. I have spent so much time weeding. But that's what you do when you do a garden.
Right.
Weed.
That's a good thing.
Hold on, where is this plant?
Gotcha. What is that? What is that sound?
Cicadas.
It is cicada. Okay. Okay. 'Cause I got a
What's blowing here? Here, taste this.
this is a
Different than the mountain mint.
what kind of mint is it?
That is called wild oregano.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Wow, look at that beautiful. Right there. Looks like a moth.
Mm-hmm. That's still a swallowtail.
Yeah. So how is it doing the wintertime out here?
Pretty brown looking,
Okay.
which is fine, but there's still stuff to do in the wintertime. I mean, in fact, a lot of time. Again, that's when I do most of my work. That is called 3-seeded mercury, and I have not used that medicinal before.
You know what that looks like though?
What?
Oh no, it's different. It's different.
What does it look like though?
Pelagic. It's similar to the leaves. Like there's a variety of it that grows in California, but it's like it's sticky. That's how you know. And then you have like the flower kind of small cluster flowers in each area. And then once you do that, it's like but it's great for any nerve issue.
Oh, interesting.
Any nerve issue. So if you put it into primarily sciatic, but like what you put it with airway adolescent, you put it with airway adolescent, airway akere jupan, airway ato, and it's really good for any nerve issue in the body, a bone, muscle, tendon. Yeah. That's why I was like, hey, that looks like, oh, it's not it. Same leaf structure.
Okay. This plant is a medicinal plant that I actually bought and put in here, and it's called Indian Physic. And I haven't used it because this is my first year having it, and
You want to make sure it grows.
Yeah, I want to make sure it grows, and I want to make sure that I know it well before because to me, I believe that you should be in relationship with the plant before you start using it.
Exactly.
Right? So if you don't know what it's going to be like, then don't use it, especially internally. Now, topical thing,
That's different.
a little bit different to me. But internally, if you're going to put this in your body, you better know, and you better have made some like commitments to the plant
How
already.
it's growing and how it's moving, and yeah.
So that's Indian Physic. I haven't used. This is St. John's wort. Right here.
Yep. You can tell by that leaf. And then the yellow flower popping up. I saw a lot of it.
Yeah. And so this is called Indian tobacco, one of our best lung ailments. If you got upper respiratory stuff going on, that is what you need. It's what people needed during COVID, and it's a weed that the more you burn, the better it is.
Have you ever dealt with any sumac?
Yes. Yep.
That's what I was using also for folks that had a lot of respiratory issues.
Yes. I like sumac. I like sumac for that. It can be kind of rough on some people's systems sometimes, but it works.
Do you have any motherwort?
I don't have any motherwort. That's that. Indian tobacco. That's another mountain mint. Just narrow leafed. Use that same one. This is bone set.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
One of the rare ones.
Does that grow locally?
Yeah.
Is that
All this stuff is local.
okay?
This is. Oh, they came by and ate that. Dude. What? This is the other This is the other wild quinine.
Mm-hmm.
Also very powerful. Again, not for the
Not for the faint of heart.
not for the kitchen herbalist.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of rare plants. Oh, there's blue pearls. Interesting. This is a plant called figwort.
Oh, figwort. I haven't seen that in a long time. That's crazy. Good.
Use it for, it goes into my eczema formulation.
Mm-hmm.
That figwort, horsefly weed, and yarrow.
Anti-inflammatories.
Yep. And there's more of that. This is what we ate last night. This is pokeweed. We ate this last night in the egusi soup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You said your name was for what?
Huh?
What's the name that you
Pokeweed.
Poke
Poke
weed.
salad. Mm-hmm.
Oh, poke.
Yeah.
Pokeweed. Oh,
Yeah, this is the
right,
big
right.
heavy in the medicinal world.
Right, pokeweed. Yeah.
Yeah. I have
Not to be used lightly.
No. I have a formulation, an anti-eczema formulation. You can tell I've been dealing with eczema this year.
No.
An anti-eczema formulation that is pokeweed root, but that is from springtime pokeweed root.
Yeah,
so
not
it's
not
right.
summer. Mm-hmm.
So it's not so strong, and it's used topically.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is about poison dosing, right? But we eat this, and the one we ate last night came from here.
Okay. Pokeweed. So do you find pokeweed a lot out here?
Oh,
Typically?
because
Yeah.
of the birds.
Okay.
The birds.
All throughout the Carolinas, or just mainly?
Everywhere. Anywhere that a bird can fly, it's gonna drop.
It's gonna drop it.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we don't bother cultivating it. There's no need. It's everywhere.
Okay.
And if you got one, you're gonna have 500 next year. It's good. It's native. It's a big important medicinal plant. It's a big important food plant. This is the main green of Cherokee people. That's their main. This is their staple green.
Yeah.
This is persimmon.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep these short so I can harvest the leaves.
Okay.
Of course, they're astringents, so if you got skin issues, also help for that. Any kind of thing you want to tighten up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big astringent. This is our main astringent. Right after witch hazel is persimmon, is the other one that's together. But we don't have witch hazel right here, so we use
Persimmon.
We do a very similar thing.
And I plant on there, right over there, a big long one. The green feathery.
Oh, that one? That's dog food.
Mm.
And I don't know its medicinal uses. It's everywhere.
But does it have the same medicinal uses as regular?
No. That's actually in the Euphorium family, so it's a bone.
Mm. A lot of nettles and stuff like that as well.
Not really.
Mm.
We have some local nettles that I planted here, but we don't have stinging nettles
That's interesting.
for whatever reason. They don't like it.
That's interesting. It seems like you have a lot of nitrogen. That would be a perfect place for it to pop up.
Yeah. Nope. Stinging nettle we do not have.
So do you put like the quartz, crushed up quartz, and in the bone, in the horn, in the earth? You ever done that before?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know what you're saying.
There was this thing that they did in Burkina, and I saw it once in Nigeria. But they take a bone and they crush up quartz and they crush up some other herbs and they put it in the ground so that it remineralizes the earth.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So quartz,
Mm-hmm.
the bone makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Somebody might do that. But no, I haven't done that before.
Mm.
I feel like I might want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I kind of specialize in the uncommon plants.
Okay.
People didn't do.
Okay.
This is.
For no comfort or anything like that.
I mean, that's everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't go there. Let somebody else do. This is bee balm. Another powerful, very easy medicinal in the mint family. Again, you're not boiling that for a long time. That is,
Quick flash.
The medicine is right there on the surface.
Yeah.
You gotta do nothing for it.
Yeah. You're not even for too long of an infusion. Just
No.
yeah. Okay.
Absolutely not.
And say the name for me real quick.
Bee balm.
Bee balm. Yep. That's the one that's popular too that people usually.
Yep. And then this one, I literally pulled these up. It's been so rainy here that even if you pull up the weeds, they'll still reroot. That's why I like it dry, because it's easier to handle the plants when it's dry.
Mm-hmm.
When it's wet, it's harder to handle the plants. This is called
Spicy.
Carolina elephant's foot.
Carolina elephant foot.
It is the most powerful antitussive I've ever seen. It
Really?
will stop a cough in seconds.
Carolina. No, say it one more time.
Carolina elephant's foot. But
Elephant's
it's the
foot.
leafy one.
Carolina
There's
elephant
two
foot.
species. You take the leaf,
Two, right?
chew, suck the juice down, spit it out. The cough is gone immediately.
How long does it last?
Hours.
Is it
How-
something that can be done daily?
Yeah.
For a diabetic man who's 81?
Yeah, and you probably wouldn't need to do it daily. I mean, when I tell you it stops the cough, the coughs are done. Now, what I don't know how to do is how to do that preservation-wise, because it's the fresh juice that you're after. So,
I wonder if you can like macerate it and then put it into like a mix of some kind of liquid.
yeah, so I'm thinking, I don't know what that would be. Is that an oil base? Is this a tincture? I don't typically use tinctures.
Tincture would take a lot of medicinal properties out of it.
I don't typically use tincture. Not that you shouldn't, but I don't typically use it. So I don't know the best way yet. So I've been putting this out there. I was like,
I like
this
the
needs...
spiciness of the other one though.
Huh?
Because I like the spiciness of the other one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it will stop a cough. I literally...
Yeah.
When
This is the whole plant. Oh, is that the flower in it?
Look how tiny little flower. It's a weed, and I found it in a dissertation about Cherokee herbology. And I asked my Cherokee friends, I was like, "Do you still use this?" And he was like, "No, we don't know that one anymore." But it was because this was a dissertation about the written works of people
Folks that use it before.
who had used it before.
Carolina elephant's foot.
And I used it, and I was like, "Oh, now this works."
Wow.
Earlier this year, I was sick, and I was at the other house, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I could not stop coughing. I was like, "I'm never gonna get any sleep."
Right.
We drove out here, got the plant, chewed it up, drove back to that place, and where y'all stayed tonight, and went to sleep.
So now, a quick question though: is something easy to propagate?
Oh yeah, it's a weed.
Yeah.
All you need is the seeds.
Oh, propagate by seeds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, I could send bare roots to you too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
just pack them well.
And so you basically, it doesn't need a whole lot of sun either.
No. And part of the Cherokee name for this is it grows beside the white oaks. So there's no white oaks right around here, but
Right. There's a lot of oaks in there.
giant oak right there. So it was exactly where the name said it would be. So
By the white oak, yeah.
right. So when I was, it's worked on other people, not just me. I give it to my daughter if she's having a cold, through my daughter's mom, all that stuff. Anytime anybody's having a sort of cough, coughing that's unproductive, I don't use it on a productive cough.
Would you use it with something like a mullein or just by itself?
You can use it either way. It depends on what other symptoms you're having. So I would use it with mullein. I would use it with that Indian tobacco that I showed you, black cherry.
Right. Like a cardamom even?
Yep. Anything to sort of open up those pathways. Finally blooming.
Coneflower.
Echinacea is hard to grow here.
Is it?
Yeah. It's not because it's hard to grow plant. It's not, but the deer just
Oh, they love it. Yeah.
wipe it out.
That is how it is here.
Yeah, the deer were taking it up.
Yeah, they'll just wipe it out.
Purple
I don't know how this one survived. 'Cause they just destroy it.
Yeah. You said there's a lot of yarrow that grows in around here too.
Not much. People plant it. But we have, so yarrow is both like native and non-native here, which is really strange.
Okay.
We have a native version, and because that plant is basically found all around the temperate world. And so we have a native version of it and a non-native one. But we have people tend to use yarrow for like blood, for wounds and stuff, but we have
Nosebleeds, stuff like that.
we have a native equivalent.
Okay.
That's called Packera ragwort.
Oh, ragwort.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And it has the same kind of styptic qualities as yarrow does. But white people know yarrow, so they were like, "This is the one." It's one of the ones.
Yeah, not only.
All right.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is what that makes sense to me. You're gonna do with what you know.
First.
Right. But you didn't kill all the indigenous people and took their land.
Now, I'm going back to the land.
Yeah. Right. Whose land again? Yeah. So I've learned a lot from indigenous people here because this is their land.
Right.
So they're gonna know this stuff better than anybody else. So we'll watch and learn from them. And these are their plants. These are the ones they have been in long relationship with.
Right.
And there's a lot more to learn because there's not a lot of Piedmont herbalists left.
Okay.
There's more in the mountains and sometimes more on the coastal plain, but we're in the Piedmont here. So it's been a lot of gathering, but also just a lot of listening to the plants themselves. A lot of experimentation.
Right.
On my part. I don't consider myself an herbalist. That's not what I'm doing. I am the person who procures plants for people. Right. Which is Babaelewe, which is the title that one of my teachers gave me.
Okay.
That's why that is
Stuck in there.
Yep. That's why it's there. I am the person who procures the plants. So I'm not an herbalist, even though I know.
But you cultivate it. Yeah, you can.
I know what they are for, and I have some intimate knowledge of why we would do a particular thing. But I'm not the person you're gonna come see. It's like I got a cold. I can do that.
Right.
But I don't consider myself an herbalist because you a doctor.
Right. Pretty much. You go in and you help.
Yeah.
You heal.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you where to get the plant and the general ideas about how to use it.
Yeah.
That is my role in community. The procurer.
Yeah.
Oh, so those are called horse nettle, and Yoruba we call them mafowomomi, which means don't touch my child. Mafowomomi.
So basically, like the for apiku, right?
Huh?
For apiku.
Yeah. So it's got thorns on it. So it's like don't touch my child. This is the child.
Right.
Right. So yeah.
You don't eat them?
No. They're relatives of the tomato, as you can kind of tell.
Right.
Look like tomatoes.
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't eat them, and I haven't used it medicinally.
That seems like that would be a good way fire just to use
Yep.
in conjunction.
Yep. So
So
I have it
what's the other name for it?
horse nettle.
Horse snail. And that's something that's local. You can see it all over.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of, I keep it around here because I know it has a use. I just haven't used it yet. I haven't had to use it yet.
Okay.
But part of why I keep this garden is that just because I don't use it does not mean
It's not
just because I
useful.
don't use it right now does not need to be used
Yeah.
and does not need to be available.
Yeah.
So
It's the fact that it's there serving a purpose in general.
So
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people pull it up because it is a weed. You see, it's thorny.
Right.
But I left it this year because it's a really important food for bees.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't keep your bees around when the bees have to live all the whole season. So what they're gonna eat in these off times? This.
Right.
So you got to keep those weeds around
Mm-hmm.
so that you can have them for the things you want them to produce, like
Right.
elderberries or blueberries. Or whatever.
Exactly.
You got to be around. They got to feed them all year.
Mm-hmm. Supporting herbs, and then the herbs actually have motion too. Those supporting herbs.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's pawpaw
Okay.
in here, which is a local pawpaw.
Where's the local pawpaw?
And you see this little one with the leaves, the yellowish green leaves that are drooping down?
Yeah.
That's pawpaw. A native pawpaw, but it's not the same genus as the ones that you find in tropical.
Got it.
But they're related.
Oh, okay. So it will be related to those.
Kind of has like a banana kind of flavor to the fruit. Banana. If you were to mix banana and a
Papaya.
mango together.
Oh, okay.
It's got that kind of.
Like a tangy flavor.
Yeah, and some people react really badly to it. Some people are allergic to it. I think it's got a funny, kind of interesting taste. I don't know that I would call it good,
Mm-hmm.
but certain people really like it.
Okay.
But even certain indigenous people don't like it. You know what I mean? So
It's like a acquired taste, basically.
I mean, you know, there's certain, you know, Yoruba people don't really eat fluted pumpkin leaves.
Right. Right.
It's not. Is that because it doesn't grow in Yoruba land? No, of course it does. They don't like it. So there's got to be that space for people just not liking stuff.
Culture.
Yep.
Culture.
They just don't like it, so they don't eat it. So yeah, that one, this local pawpaw
Mm-hmm.
is.
So you think Ewe Miesha would grow?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
And
What's that? Whitehead. What's it called? What's the other name for it? Whitehead. White.
it's a bone set. It's Eupatorium.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It would.
Get your sleep too, and it protects you at nighttime.
Yep. Absolutely would grow here.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, so the entry stuff is.
Hmm?
Okay, let me show you the little. What else is in here? This is called Joe Pie weed or gravel root, and that is for.
Stones and everything.
That is for. I call it great grandfather medicine because it is for prostates.
Yeah.
It's for enlarged prostates and other kind of.
So it's another potent anti-inflammatory kind
Yep.
of thing. Yeah.
Which
So
makes sense,
yeah.
right? You wanna. Your prostate is inflamed.
Yep.
Let's uninflame
That would be a
it.
problem.
Let's uninflame it. But
gravel
that
root.
specific kind of action to get to that part of the body is hard,
Mhm.
right? So we got to use specific plants in the same way that, to get to your nasal passages, it can be hard to ingest things because that's going to get there.
Yeah.
So,
Especially because it has to have some kind of volatile oils to get into the midst of it. It's not always just to ingest it.
great. Absolutely. So, yeah, I call that great grandfather medicine. And at my other place, I have yet another garden.
Okay.
I've got gardens sort of stuck all over the city.
Yeah.
And one of my other gardens, I have a men's herbal garden, which it's there.
Where is the that garden?
Not far from here, like 5 minutes away.
Mm.
But I haven't. So the sort of the wetland male herbal garden is wetland gardens.
Okay.
So I've started some of it here too.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I call the local emiishu plant.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That's literally what I call it. So
Because it has the same effect.
Yeah. So this is called blue bone set.
And so you would, like MESU, would you boil it? You have to boil it to get the medicinal value out of it. And so would, in that same way, would you, when you boil it, would you steam it?
Yes.
Because I
Steam
know
it.
that's how I do it in MESU.
Yeah. So I call this the local one that has a blue flower.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got it's the same plant family, it's the same action.
Right.
Basically it.
Because these usually are on the side of hills and by water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I saw it when I was in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I know this plant.
But I know it intimately. I know that leaf.
Okay. And I was like, yep. I said, we do the same thing with it as it is here.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think it would need like a humid situation to deal with it, or? I mean, I've seen it grow.
I grow in here because it can take this particular plant can take it kind of hot and dry. Because I can show you up here where it's growing in a hotter, drier, rockier area.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not as luscious.
Okay. Yeah, the environment dictates.
Yeah. The environment dictates what's going on. It's just not as luscious, but it's still there. And it spreads. Really
Oh, this is the same. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've seen this. I've seen this all over the place.
Yeah. So that's how I use it. I use it in the same way. Use it in the same
So
way.
would it produce those same white flowers as the
produces
blue flowers? I mean, same size, those kinds of.
Yeah, similar. They look very similar.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the flowers are blue.
Yeah.
And I put it in combination with another medicinal plant called cardinal flower,
Okay.
which is another one of those. Even though I haven't used cardinal flower because I can't get it enough to grow. The deer love to eat it, so I haven't had enough of it to use.
Oh, because it's constantly going.
Yeah. But hopefully I've got it.
Horsetail.
Yeah. Good for cleaning your clay pots.
Mm-hmm. And much other.
Yeah. And many other things.
Growing hair.
Yep. Yeah. Like all that silica in it.
Yep.
This is cardinal flower. There it is right there.
Okay.
A bright blue flower. Bright red.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason this is in here is because the deer are not coming in here to destroy it.
Another one that's local, but it's just never really seen because the deer jump it
The
up.
deer chomp it to death.
Okay.
Because they like it. You can see that little emiishu growing right there. You see that little pale purple flower?
Okay, where am I looking?
It's very tiny. It's the first of it. You can see it.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. So it's the exact same flower.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As soon as you see it, like, that's it.
Yeah, it's the exact same flower.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they call it whitehead or white something or something like that for the other one. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
This is the local nettle.
Oh, this is the one you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, surveyed it. You see the.
Yep.
So it doesn't really, not the same effects. It's just
No.
in that family.
Yep.
No stinging or
No
anything
stinging.
like that. So the reason I'm saying that just because people, when they usually think of nettles, because that's the misnomer. That all have
They
the
all
same
stink.
effect.
No, they don't. But this is also a fiber plant too.
I just wanted to, in the lexicon of the native. Native industry.
Yep. Also use the fiber used to make rope. I don't have enough of it here to do that with it yet, but I will.
Will it be pretty strong rope too?
Oh yeah. I mean, you can make rope out of basically anything. This is called camphor weed. Just smell it. You ain't gotta touch it much.
You can tell. You
You
know
can
it's
smell it
camphor.
from here. Touch it a little bit, and you'll smell it. That characteristic camphory kind of smell.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, no doubt. Like musk.
Yeah. I love the smell and I hate it at the same time.
It's not an abrasive smell.
No, it's not good, but it's not bad either.
That. Something like bay leaf. Like bay leaf is cool, but it is.
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's never like, oh, this is a pleasant. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't wait to smell that again. No.
Right. Something like somebody just came out the gym. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
It's also like the way I feel about skunks. I don't think that they smell bad. They just smell strong.
Yeah. And you don't want that strong flavor
Right.
to stay with
That's
you
right.
a long period of time.
This is jewelweed. This is an antidote to poison ivy.
What's that?
This one.
Mmm.
Mucilaginous. You get poison ivy or any kind of skin thing. Even I'm going to use it right now because something just scratched me. This sort of juice will come. This one's kind of dry.
And it's called again?
Jewelweed.
Jewelweed.
Also called touch me not.
Touch me not.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that grow as far as like seasonally or?
Yeah, wet area. This is annual, so wet areas.
Oh, because of when it floods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the seed is spread by. They'll shoot its seeds out, but the deer have been chomping on this. But already it's going to produce the hummingbird plant. It's one of my favorite plants. Basically, once you get one in here, you'll have bazillions.
I cannot see the purple.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And it'll even get more beautiful than this.
And so do you harvest a lot of that?
Yeah, this is the first year I've had enough to
have like a good harvest on it.
Because I've been propagating it. This is a year and a half's worth of work.
Wow. But you know what? It's so funny because usually when I talk about herbs and stuff like that, it's like the more that you allow to just grow naturally, the better that actually the medicinal part of it become.
Absolutely. So you want them to have all the stresses and all the stuff that they get, the competition that they're getting, and the cooperation that they're getting from other plants. So that's
no single cell.
What'd you say?
No single cell. Oh goodness.
This is a plant called spice bush. Yeah, you take a whiff and chew that.
Oh yeah.
A very common tea from Cherokee people. They just had it on the stove as a regular tea.
Mm-hmm. What kind of
a good tonic.
Mm.
It produces a beautiful flower and fruit.
Mm-hmm.
If you dry the fruit when it's green, it's like black pepper, and if you dry it when it's red, after it's ripened, it tastes like allspice.
So is this the one that actually helps to produce a blood in the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it helps to build up the blood.
Yeah.
The spice weed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I thought.
Also, people, when you cook in beer, you add those twigs to it.
Which twigs?
Twigs
of the yeah.
You'll add twigs to it.
Mm.
The twigs of spice bush when you're cooking beer.
Mm.
Spices up too.
What berry is this? It's a little red berry.
Those are fall strawberries. Beer and strawberry. Indian strawberry.
You don't eat them.
But as children, every child has tried. They don't taste bad. They just don't taste like anything. They're just not strawberries. You know what I mean? It's
So
like
they don't make you sick.
no. Nothing will happen. It's just not good. That's the only problem. We do have wild strawberries here that are delicious.
Are they seasonal too, or are they not?
Those wild strawberries?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're pretty much gone now.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen witch balls green. I only see them brown.
Oh, this is good medicine.
I've never seen them green.
This is good medicine, and in fact, this is what I put in what I call my flu punch. So if you got the flu, this is what you need.
Mm-hmm.
These are annoying plants. They get everywhere. They
Stick to you.
Yeah, they break your lawnmower, just make you fall. This is the plant of sweet gum.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the flu, the active ingredient in here in Tamiflu is shikimic acid, found in like star anise and this.
Mm.
Like the two sources for it are this.
And they need to just be green.
Yeah, green is better. But you can also use the bark too from the plant. It's in there too. And
So it's the seeds of that?
Mm-hmm. Just the whole ball.
The whole ball.
You would boil this whole thing, or you could you can tincture this, or you could even, if you wanted to make a sort of a syrup out of this, you could take these whole things, and pour sugar on them until that.
No sugar.
Yeah, no sugar for you. But for people who can have sugar, and for making children's medicine, you want to get children to take medicine. You can take these when they're green stage, like this. Even greener than this is better. You put sugar on them when they're green, like in a jar, like you have like a mason jar, and fill it to where the sugar is covering them and sort of touching them. In about a month, the sugar will pull out all the medicinal qualities to it. Now you've got a child syrup to get a child to take.
Something for course for food.
Take for something for the food.
Yeah.
You can do this with pine needles. You can do this with all the fruits. You can do this with all of these things. There's that technique. I think is a Korean technique. I think they make all these different kind of drinks called, what is that called?
And this is from this tree right here.
Which is super. I wanted the most common. Baba, you have to be related to a friend of mine.
Who is that?
He lives in Oak. He lives in San Francisco, actually.
What's his name?
His last name is Clements.
Clements.
L-E-M-E-N-T-S.
Is he related to the birds or the Pratts or the?
I don't know, but
Definitely got to connect.
there's a connect, and I've actually told him about you before. Like, you need to talk to him.
Oh yeah.
He's in San Francisco, but his family is in Louisiana.
Okay. We definitely got to link up.
Look, it's so similar.
Is that right?
Yes. Even the way you walk.
I wouldn't doubt it. Does he have that bird nose?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Because a lot. So it's funny. The funny part of that. So there's a lot of the birds and the Pratts and all those folks is out there in San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's where they came when they came from Louisiana.
Yeah. His mom's family's from Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, y'all have to be related. There's no way.
Do you know what his mom's name is?
I don't remember her name. He told me.
Like I said, I met somebody at her shop. And it was like related.
Yeah.
We already know. We already know.
I just opened the door and sat down.
Yeah.
Do no work.
And so it was two people back to back. Both of them were Williams and didn't know each other.
Yeah.
Best friend and
But,
So yeah, I want to show y'all some of these inside spaces. So
Yeah.
this is the medicinal space, and then there's of course all the foraging
Mm.
you can do. There's the native version of bitter leaf. We have that here too.
okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's out in one of the fields.
Wow. Okay.
I use it. I dry it first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any diabetes.
Mm-hmm. So it's a good anti-inflammatory, good astringent too. Mm-hmm.
So I don't have any sort of clients that are asking me anything about diabetes right now. But
Do you have a picture of that?
yeah, it's called ironweed.
Ironweed.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know.
I know it's deep in there. That's why I was asking if you had anything.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a picture of it.
And so, how often do you bring folks out here? If they would like for example, say me and my daughter want to come out here and be like, okay, well, let's work. I want to work, and then
Anytime.
see whatever. Okay.
Yeah, I've got 2 mentees, who I feel good about sending out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you apprentice for a long ass time.
Right. Of course. I mean, just see the native herbs out here, just see the things, because you're always looking for other people to kind of connect to and build with nerves.
I need more help.
Mm-hmm.
Right, doing this. I've done a lot of this myself. And
Okay.
I don't want to do more about this myself. I want other people to be doing it.
Right.
I know how to do it.
Right.
How is it helpful to other people if I'm the only person who knows?
Right.
It's not.
Right.
But this is also not easy work. This takes
it's
a
not.
ton of study.
Right. It does.
Because what's the difference between that and the other bone set?
Exactly.
A lot of damn difference.
That
That's
if you don't see it growing from the flower, from the seedling all the way up,
Yep.
it's hard to know.
Somebody told me once that you know a plant when you know it in all seasons.
Right. Exactly.
What does it look like when there's nothing there?
Mm-hmm. When it's
Right?
a bear.
When there's just like a bunch of sticks who are like, leaning to one side. Do
Right.
you still know it?
Right. Exactly.
Right? Those are the kind of things. But that just takes time and takes exposure
Mm-hmm.
and it takes dedication to the craft.
Right.
And so there's not a lot of people who are interested in it. But I was like, are you really?
Yeah.
You got 18 years?
To really put in and work and think
I mean,
and
I
learn.
don't tell
Yeah.
people that because that will scare people off that you need 18 good years
Right.
to be really good. I just the plants part,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Wow.
this part of North Carolina has about 1,500 native species.
Mm.
1,500 native species in this county
Alone.
alone.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not even the most botanically rich part of the state. Now think about that to Nigeria.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Quadruple that,
Exactly.
right?
There's no way that you can know every herb in Nigeria unless you're just taking a lifetime to learn it.
But what you're looking at is how the patterns that you're looking for. So you don't need to know every herb, but you need to be able to at least figure out how to get there.
Right.
Mentally, like
This is going around this tree. It's getting
Right.
these X, Y, and Z. This is
Yeah.
similar to this.
This is called Bidens, and I haven't actually used this medicinally, but people do. It's called Spanish needles or beggar ticks sometimes. And the reason why I left it is so that I would have access to it.
Just
so
in
I can
case.
figure out how to use it.
Right.
Because again, you can't use the
Spanish
resource
needles.
if you don't have it.
Spanish needles.
You gotta actually have the resource, and so
Not just yanking something out of the ground, but really studying it and making it grow.
you actually have to have the resource, which is why I let some of these things that I don't particularly haven't used before. I haven't used this one before either. But again, you have to have the resource before you can use it. You can't just, and
Yank
as
it out.
our area,
What's the name of that one?
Which one? This one?
Mm-hmm.
Camphor.
Oh, that's the camphor weed.
Mhm.
Okay.
Again, sometimes it's hard to
As
identify.
soon as you said I got a whiff of it, just
Yeah. It's hard to identify it until you use your nose. You're like, oh, it's camphor.
I know that. So you would use the leaves and the buds, or?
Yeah, I think I would. But the
Okay.
leaves are so powerful, I don't even think you need to use the buds.
Okay. So would be that something that you could soak in like some distilled water and then kind of
Distilled
go
water, I would use it also as, I think I would also put it in, and I need to do this.
like a salve or
soon.
something.
I would put it in a sort of a warm infusion of the coconut oil or something like that to as a salve.
Yeah. Because that would also help with like any kind of joint pain and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
now is the time to be gathering leaves. This is the last moment of the year before the leaves start to pull in their nutrients. So right now, August is when I do a lot of my gathering for drying and salve making, whatever, because the leaves are then starting to they start to be on the other side.
Okay. So does that grow like relatively rare? Obviously it grows well, but it has to be marshy kind of areas,
Yeah,
right?
it's kind of wettish. Like these very dry areas.
Okay. So around creeks, around. Fine.
And so the reason why this is here is because there's a outflow of like the septic field or whatever.
Oh, so it's constantly coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's keeping this moist, and when it rains, there's an outflow here. So
Okay.
I partially put this here to like keep the erosion down,
Right.
and to grow these kind of things that we don't have the other right kind of space to grow.
Right. So I see a lot of fields, a lot of open fields and
Yeah.
stuff like that in North Carolina specifically. But is that like a do you see a lot of the plants and things like that you would ordinarily find in not the marshy areas, but you would find the mullein in those areas? So I was talking to a few people around those at the flea market. Talking about the mulleins. They were talking about the like the other dandelions and so the trees, the main basic trees. I know there's probably a lot of them, but main basic trees in North Carolina, South Carolina would be like what magnolias,
Oaks.
oaks,
Oaks are our main thing, and then pines secondarily.
oaks and pines. Okay.
Yeah, oaks. That's our big. That's our. This is sort of the center of the oak. No, not the center, but a big part of the oak kingdom.
Oh, so a lot of the what's the names you see are implants then, the magnolias.
Yeah. People planted those. They're not native here.
Okay.
I mean, they're fine, but they're not native. They're native to further south.
Okay.
So Mississippi,
Like even Georgia.
Georgia.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, let's go see some. I'll walk you around a little bit more of the property. And I might send y'all to the botanical gardens on your own.
Oh, because you got to go pick up the munchkin.
Because it's earlier in the day would have been fine, but to go there and then fight traffic and try to get back, it's like maybe 40 minutes from here for me.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be too much, and then try to get back and do your thing.
Let's see. Oh, you see this little bug? It's a lightning bug.
Oh yeah.
you don't never think about what they be doing during the day.
In the daytime, right?
Rolling around native plants.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
they need so they can do it.
Mhm. So we had a person come out and do the ages of some of these trees.
Mhm.
You can't see the tree here, but this one and its sort of sibling tree is over there. They dated it to like being around since the 1740s.
Whoa, well, what streets is that?
You can't see it, it's in there, but this is the same kind. So
Okay.
this one is the 1760s or 17.
Oh, so that could have put us from those trees.
Huh?
That could have put us from those trees.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's a what kind of tree with that?
Willow oak.
It's a willow. Okay.
Sometimes called a pin oak.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Actually, I need to go gather sassafras later tomorrow morning.
So you have sassafras.
Not here on the property. My friend has
That's
on
right.
his property, so I'll go grab some.
Yeah, sassafras is another one that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to use that all the
yeah,
time.
It's a big,
all the time.
powerful one.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use it because I want to be using it in drinks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As
Like a root beer
tonic.
almost.
Mhm. I want to be
Yeah.
having that time. Because what I'm also interested in is because I'm interested in having our people, by that I mean black people,
Mm-hmm.
be healthier,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so everybody is not going to switch to West African food.
Right.
That's not a thing. That's
No,
not
right.
going to be, because there's so much ramping up to that you got to do. You telling me I got to cook more? Yeah, that may not be
Everybody's
feasible.
buck for tea, yeah.
So if people are going to eat this sort of more localish diet, or the diet that came about here, then how are we going to help these things be healthier? So cool. You need to be drinking sassafras.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not going to eat okra in the slimy way, you
At
better eat
least.
sassafras in the slimy
Mm-hmm.
way, right? But you already know sassafras.
kind of
You know
mixture.
filet, you know gumbo, you know these other things, right? Let's make a sassafras drink out of corn, which is an indigenous thing,
Right.
right? So if you're not going to do one, you got to move toward an indigenous diet.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that is an indigenous European diet, which I don't really suggest for black people, but if you're going to do that, go what they do indigenously. If you don't want to do that, move to an indigenous American diet.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do that, move to an indigenous West African diet, but it's got to be an indigenous diet. These are the ones that are complete. They make sense. They hold together internally.
Mm-hmm.
But the mixing of them does not hold them together internally. Right? It does not hold together internally because they are the fastest here in the United States. They are the fastest versions of all of those things put together, and that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Food is not supposed to be fast.
Mm-hmm. Take time,
Right?
energy, effort.
It takes time, energy, and effort, right? And I wish it were quicker, and I wish there were easy product-based ways to do this, and it's not. This shit takes skill. It takes culinary skill. It takes medicinal skill and a dedication to a set of traditions. So if you're gonna eat soul food, eat the shit out of German food. Eat it to death.
That would be the
But you
one.
better be doing it like they do it.
Yeah.
You know how they cook their ribs? They eat just in the way our love of ribs comes from their love of ribs.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they do it? They brine them in sauerkraut for 3 days before they cook it. So if we're gonna eat ribs, which is no inherent problem with that,
That is sour and so it can digest.
you better be
Instead of vinegar.
huh?
Instead of vinegar.
Yes, because probiotics, that is helping to it is pre-digesting the meat for you. I ate pork every day in Germany. Every day.
Wow.
I felt fine. Here, I would have been laid out. They would have taken me home in a coffin.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
I ate pork, I ate dairy, I ate wheat, I ate all the things I do not eat here. I was feeling fine.
Mm.
I wasn't feeling sluggish. The itis is inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because you know what helps to do? There's a histamine responses that we have.
That's immune.
And when they don't brine it in sauerkraut, they'll brine it in another brine of spices, juniper berries, cloves, and a whole other set of
Sour,
things that they'll
bitter.
brine it. You're souring it, you're reducing the histamine response that you'll get when you eat pork. Because this is not raw pork out of the package, unprocessed, and then in the pan and then in your body.
Yeah,
no.
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 That's just nasty.
Right? So if you want to eat pork, which is, again, there's nothing inherently wrong with pork. You better do it like they do it. You see what I'm saying? So indigenous diet, whichever one you choose, I don't care which one it is, whatever one makes more sense for you and your lifestyle.
Yeah.
But you better pick one.
I mean, that, you also think about how Polynesians eat pork. Right? It's never just
They cook them in the ground.
right.
Yeah.
Underground.
That's what I'm saying.
With certain leaves, with certain things.
And
It's constantly.
when you're eating pork here, you better be eating them with cabbage.
Mm-hmm.
You better be eating them with sauerkraut. You better be eating them with coleslaw.
They
You
can get
better
through
be
your
eating
system.
It's the offsetting.
Breaking down those fats and proteins.
Yeah. So I'm saying, if we're gonna do that, you can't. If you eat ribs, you better brine them, and there better be some cabbage in there.
Yeah.
Right? Because that is this is what they have figured out. You know how big and like powerful Germans are?
Right.
That's from the damn food.
Right. They eat a lot of it.
Right. You know how big and powerful Nigerians are? Some tiny. That's also from the food. Right? That's also from the food. When you see beautiful people, as one of my friends said, when you see beautiful people, look and see what they eat.
Right.
When you see beautiful people you think are beautiful in the world, what are they eating?
The
That's
foods.
why Tongans are bigger than Samoans.
Oh, yeah.
And Samoans are bigger than Hawaiians.
Yeah. What are they eating?
Got it.
Yeah. What are they eating?
Tongans are some big.
Oh, them Jacks.
motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yeah. What are they eating? If you like see people who are like robust and
Boy.
see what they're doing, see what they're eating, who have like clear skin and well-developed teeth and well, you know. So again, never trust an English person about food. Look how they look.
Mm-hmm.
Don't trust them people about no food. They clearly don't
look
have it right.
pasty and sick.
They look sick. They don't have their food cannot be right.
Yeah, they do look sick.
They look sick. Don't trust nobody who looks sick about your food.
Yeah.
And don't trust English people about food anyway. I don't know why you do that.
Yeah, because their food is like really
It's
bad.
really bad.
Really
It's
bad.
really bad.
I mean, that's why they had all those plagues and stuff at a certain point.
They don't live in a resource-rich place. And what resources they did have, the Romans came and effed it all up.
Yep. Took all their trees, took all their.
So, all their trees. Because those people are forest people.
Mm-hmm. That's why you got a Briar Wolf and all you got all those wolf stories and all those.
Those are forest people. English people are forest dwellers.
Yeah.
Right? And so you take their forest away, they're not eating the right stuff. They're forest and sea people. They should be eating seaweed
That
and
makes
all
sense.
that other stuff, cockles and mussels and all the stuff they used to sing about in their ancient songs. They should be eating that. They would look healthier.
They're not. They're not eating that.
Not eating it. They're over here eating curry and jelly deals. Anyway, so that's always when I'm telling people. So I've gotten less didactic about what I think people should be eating. But if you're going to, there's a pattern to it. If you're gonna eat in an indigenous diet.
Right.
It don't matter which one it does matter, but your first thing is choose your indigenous diet. So if you are living in a place where you got access to indigenous foods of that place, try that first. And what I'm now thinking about and working on is how we mix, as we are African people on indigenous land, surrounded by European culture.
Right.
How are we able to now rejigger some of this stuff?
Yeah.
Because we hadn't had this opportunity to do it, right? And so, to me, we mix our African things with the indigenous plants. That's the best thing. Cut the European stuff out. Because even when you're growing European stuff, it's like a level. So, when you are eating when you are an indigenous person on your land, eating your indigenous food that is indigenous to where you are, that's the peak of nutrition.
That's the medicine too.
Peak nutrition. You can't get any higher than that. You will never do better than that, ever. Right? So Samoans eating on Samoan land, eating Samoan indigenous food is peak nutrition for them. Right? It goes down from every way. So if you are now an indigenous person who is eating your indigenous food, but that indigenous food is now grown on foreign land that is not indigenous to you or the plant, that's still good. It's better than none
Eating
of
crap.
those, but it's not as good as the plants grown on their own land. So white people here. So white people eating collard greens here or kale here is that. So they're eating their ancestral food grown somewhere else. Okay, so that's still better. Now what's happening for Black Americans is that we are eating European food, and that European food is grown on indigenous land. None of it matches up. Worst nutritional outcomes. So we have to switch cut the European stuff out because that makes the least sense for us. So we should be eating indigenous food to us or indigenous food to
To this
here.
land.
So how do you know what's indigenous
To here?
to us
Yeah.
and what's indigenous to here?
Yeah, so that's just study, right? And people like me, people like Baba here, can help move us through these things. Really good herbalists who know what they're talking about, which are rare, can help us through this. But one of the reasons me and my friend Asia are teaching these classes is so that we can get this knowledge out there. This needs to be common
'cause
knowledge.
It's not.
It's not.
It's definitely not.
But we have to actually take control over our own experience too, though. Believing that
No,
we can,
no Chick-fil-A.
right, yeah, and believing that we can do this by changing the kind of food we buy is not it. This has to be like a shift that we sort of start to feel in our bodies, because this will also help to heal our mental health stuff.
Because even if we're eating heavy meats, then it has to be like good, halal,
Yep,
good.
it better be good meat and it better be
meat.
prepared right.
Right.
Right? If we, again, so meat is hard to digest.
Mm-hmm.
The Germans figured that out, and how do they overcome that? Brine.
Yeah.
3 days. They have this pot roast that would have blown your mind. Good Lord, it was good. Brined in a mixture of wine and vinegar, 3 days. Pre-digested.
Already broken down.
It's already broken down for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you could have eaten that and ran a marathon.
That is true because they eat a lot of sausage. They eat a lot of.
You could eat
meats,
it and
they
run
eat
a
a lot of
marathon.
stuff. Yeah.
You're fine. I didn't feel weighed down by any of that stuff. I was ready to go. Ate all that potatoes, ate all that butter. We ready to go. We didn't need to go to the hotel and lay down or nothing. We was good. Right? It's the preparation, it's the how the animals and stuff were treated, it's all of that stuff together. But here we don't have any control over how the animals are treated. But that means we need to buy our meat as ethically as we could, and that's gonna cost more money.
Right.
Or eat less meat.
Less thing on the plate.
Right? So
true.
the way West Africans deal with that problem of digesting of hard to digest food, we cook it multiple times. The meat that y'all ate last night was cooked 3 times.
Right.
We boiled it first, then we air fried it. You would have normally fried it or grilled it or something after you boiled it, and then you put it back into the stew 3 times. So there's nothing to digest.
No, you're good.
You're good. Right? And any other thing that would have been an issue is now smoothed out by the palm oil. Any inflammatory responses that you may have had is negated by the palm oil. Right? So again, there are these pattern languages. How do we deal with meat? So one of the 2 unhealthiest ways to eat meat is grilled and fried. Seafood, I don't know if it has the same thing, but I'll tell you what, West Africans even tend to boil seafood first and then fry and grill it. Not like shrimp and stuff, but typically you can do that. But seafood I don't think has the same issues, but like land mammals produces, when you cook them in a dry way, produces something that's from my friend Asia called AGEs, advanced glycation end products, which is basically rust for the inside of your body. It's oxidation. The crispy bits on the outside of meat, that's what that is. The caramelization part that we like and the crunch and the black, that's what that is. So grilling is one of the most, well, we knew it was carcinogenic. That's why though. You couldn't tell why it was carcinogenic because it produces these kind of protein, these oxidizing proteins, the proteins that have been oxidized. I think I'm saying that right. That then basically oxidize in our bodies. They basically give us essentially the human version of rust. So when people are like grilled meats, no, boiled meats, poached meats. Do like the old Europeans did. They have these traditions too, but when you come to the United States, they're like fast. Grill the meat quick. Fry the meat quick. In 20 minutes, you're done. Right? You take chicken from raw to done in the fryer in 20 minutes.
Hey, they don't even pound the meat.
No,
Nope, pound
it's
it.
not pounded. In Germany, they pound the meat first. If you're not gonna brine it first, you're gonna pound it first.
With the hammer thing.
With a hammer.
My mom used to do it. She does that.
Yep. So what I'm saying, you see what I'm saying? And so you see all these like eroding of these culinary techniques which are tied to its chemistry. Right? So that's why I say cooking is one of the most important things you can get good at. Because if you're gonna eat to live here in the United States, you're gonna have to cook yourself.
Right. It's not fake meats. Definitely not
You are
fake
going
meats.
to have to cook
Yeah.
yourself. You have to be skilled at it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it weren't true, but in other places you can go buy good products. Not here. Because they don't care about your health. They care about you buying the product, and that's a very different. That's a very like commerce is the main important thing. It doesn't care what. It doesn't matter because there's commerce and then there's like good commerce, right? It's totally fine to
That
buy.
supports.
Right. It's totally fine to buy and sell things. There's nothing wrong with that. Everything does not need to be bartered either. It's perfectly fine to buy and sell things. But what's the quality of the product?
There's a balance.
Yeah. And here in the United States, I rarely find, because I told you I love watching procedurals about how things are done. You know, how are these things actually produced? Because I want to see every inch of the process. How is this being done, right? Because I want to know what's the change in the process that then results in these kinds of outcomes, right? I want to know nitty gritty what's happening. And in the United States, they have all these interventions within these processes that make the food what would otherwise be an okay product or an okay process now not an okay process. There's nothing inherently wrong with peanut oil for people who want to use peanut oil, but it's the process of using hexanes to clean it.
Right. It makes it harder to take in your system.
Yeah. You want to be inflamed? Eat cottonseed oil.
It's cottonseed oil.
So they put that in everything.
Oh God,
Everything.
cottonseed oil is what you'll find like low quality potato chips are fried in. Cottonseed oil, in the way that it's produced in the United States, should not be ingested ever.
You use motor oil.
Yeah. Yep. But like Lay's and Utz and those, they use a
I don't
blend.
eat those. Those are horrible.
Yeah. They use those kinds of oils. Canola oil also not great.
Is it addictive?
I don't think it's
Cottonseed oil?
addictive. I think it's hurtful.
Alright. I'm just trying to figure out some stuff.
Because doesn't that affect your like receptors too, the brain receptors? So the firing of the brain receptors. So that's why sometimes slow speech, stuttered speech.
Yep. It slows your brain down.
Alzheimer's even he was connected to Alzheimer's.
Those little lunch packs of Lay's. She buys the 50-something pack box
Costco
every
style.
2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. And that's what she'll eat, like 3, 4, 5 days in a row. That's the only thing she'll eat. Those and a Sprite or a 7-Up.
That'll jack your kidneys.
And she has diverticulitis. Like she's stage 3 renal failure. Like it's a lot of stuff, but I don't know how to get her to stop.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what's addictive.
These things can be complex.
I mean, I know a lot of it is simple mindset.
Yeah.
She's just freaking stubborn.
Yeah. And you can get used to things, right? One of the best things that I have found is to introduce to people is the idea of choice. I don't know how old your parents are, but how old are your parents?
My mom is 68. Dad's 81.
Okay, so your parents are like in between mine. What I have realized about my own parents is that one, they are habituated to listening to white people.
Yep.
Regardless.
Habituated to.
Drives me nuts.
They don't have any. They can't really imagine any other way out of it. Okay, they can't imagine a way out of it, which is hard because there's a generational difference between us and them.
Right.
Because in a funny way, especially for people who grew up during segregation, is that they were experiencing the effects of racism, but not necessarily seeing it in their. They were not necessarily seeing it necessarily every day, and they weren't interacting with white people every day in segregation, right? But they were still feeling the effects of it. Same way as Nigerians are, right?
Yeah.
They're not interacting with white people every day, but they're feeling the effects, even though they can't point to like it's that person, right? And so because of that, sometimes they don't realize how much what white people have done from the outside is like seeped into the very fiber of their being.
What they're doing. Even how they dress.
No, this is black stuff.
Even how they dress. I mean, even how like the fabrics, right? The fabrics are from Holland now. They're not from.
That's right.
From there. They're not from this.
You know, it has seeped into there. And so in some ways, strangely enough, integration has been helpful in a because there's no bad or all good or all bad. They're all just things.
Right.
It can be mostly bad, but there's gonna be something good in it. what integration, my generation, who was going to like mixed schools or white schools,
Mhm.
you've been able to see the very particular ways in which this is happening. No, white people did this.
Right.
White people did this,
Right.
this, and this. And the way that our parents can't see it.
Right.
Yeah.
They can't connect the thing. It's like, this thing comes from here.
Right.
That's our job, to help them see that.
Because I think it's regional too. So like you coming from North Carolina, South Carolina, but if you're coming from the West Coast,
Not so clear.
not so clear because it's so meshed in
Yeah.
into everything.
Yeah.
Right? You got everybody there from all over the world, and then
And so
so
it seems like,
Right.
oh no, we're not having that experience. No, yes you are.
even more so.
Yeah, it just looks different, but you're having the same experience we are.
Exactly.
It just feels and looks different. Because I
Exactly.
remember when my sister's in California, we were in Oxnard,
Okay.
and we were like going to movies, and the wind was blowing, and I was like, you could come here and forget yourself.
Yeah. Easily.
You could come to California
Easily.
and forget yourself.
Easily.
It's set up for you to forget yourself.
Yeah.
So you think that like, racism is fine, which is how you
No,
get sometimes
no, no, no,
sometimes weird Southern California people, not Oakland people, but Southern California black people are weird.
Yeah.
They
Well.
like, racism doesn't exist. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, they be saying weird stuff to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not sure I get this, but I can feel how I can see how you can get it because it's not in your
Yeah.
face and whatever.
Right.
It's systematic, but you don't experience it on a daily basis. Maybe. So that's one thing, right? Is that they're habituated to listen to white people, including white products.
Right.
Yep.
They were kept away during segregation. Your mom is a little bit younger than mine, but not by a year. Remember my mom saying that one of the things that they couldn't have during segregation was fat hamburgers. White people had those big, thick hamburgers,
Yeah.
and black people could only eat these very thin ones. So my mother said, as soon as I could, I was going to eat the big, fat hamburgers. And so, while that's not really a big thing,
It is.
think about what it means. It means that you're now doing something in response to something that you couldn't have when you should have been eating the little hamburger.
Right.
Fewer meat cooked in this bad style, which was already decided that cooking dry meat is not a good idea. Cooked in the bad style is better for you.
Yeah.
But because these white people are enjoying something that you are barred
Not
from,
privy to. Yeah.
now it makes you want to do it. They couldn't eat those prepared products. They didn't have no money. Right? You weren't buying potato chips at the store. It was a luxury. And so now that your mother is grown and can eat all the potato chips she can
That
stand,
is exactly her mindset on everything.
Yeah.
I couldn't have it then, or somebody told me no, or your daddy said, I'm going to do what I want to do. I do this.
Right.
Like, that is her mindset
Yeah.
literally on everything.
But-
It's a constant fight, but she stays sick.
Yeah.
She took off work today because she's ill.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But that sort of, and also what I want to help to do is to move us from the resistance mindset of being in resistance to what white people have done. I'm going to do the opposite because somebody told me to do this. That can't be it either.
Right.
I'm going to do the opposite of this thing that white people forced me to do. That may not be the right answer either.
No, because one extreme to the next is not the best move.
Because
really.
you're still in resistance to
Yeah.
whatever their response is. It's still a response to their thing. As opposed to like, this is what I'm in full
Control.
choice of. I am choosing to eat this or I'm choosing not to eat this. So what I am doing with this part of my life is offering people choice.
Right.
Right? The choice to wear African clothes or white people's clothes. You get to make the choice. I don't care which one you choose, but I do want you to know that you have the choice. You can eat white people's food or you can eat West African food. You have the choice.
Right.
Because I feel like black people, we have had so few choices that we don't know what to do. We can't see them when they actually are here.
Especially, you look at the community too. I mean, it's a little bit different here, I saw, but in Oakland, because there's rural parts of Oakland is spread out, right? So, in Oakland you have food deserts, like literally food deserts. There's no fruit stands and stuff. You got to go to a place to get that fruit. You got to go to a farmer's market to get that whatever, because otherwise you got the corner store and you got all the crap whatever they got in the corner store.
And Takis
Right.
and whatever those blue drinks are that are
Right.
colored with God knows what. Right? That's what you have. And so if you don't feel like you have any choices, you feel like certain things are inevitable.
Because where are you gonna go? To whole paycheck?
Right.
You know?
Right. Certain things are inevitable. or you're going to be in resistance to.
Right.
Neither one of those things is going to be helpful because neither one of them is about you.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I need to get both of you and lock y'all in a room with my parents. Like,
Well, we'll put my parents in there together too. Because my parents have done a whole lot better. But that is because of my parents seeing their children. And this is why Yoruba people, what Yoruba people say about children. Children are your best clothes. They're your best protection. They actually are looking out for you. They actually care about you. Because then people, once your parents die, the people who know you best is your kids.
Yep. 100%. 100%. 100%. So what is this right here? I've been seeing this all over.
This,
Yeah, the feathery. The vine too, but then.
this part of his one is called bonsai. I'm not bonsai. Yankee. I'm gonna call every name in the book. This is called dog fennel, also called Yankee weed.
Okay.
It's called Yankee weed because after the Civil War, when the fields were fallow and not being worked by our ancestors.
Oh, I smell
this is what grows up.
what does it do?
I don't know actually.
It has I smell the fennel.
Yeah.
I smell the fennel.
I don't know. I don't know people to use
And it
it.
seemed like that would be a good, because fennel is good for just pushing stuff out.
Yeah, it feels tonic-like,
Yeah.
right? Subtle,
Yeah. This
but
is.
it's super common.
I see this all over the place.
Yeah. Take a smell.
All over.
But it's like
And it's called what again?
dog fennel.
Dog fennel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's in
Like
the,
the stuff on pizza.
yeah, it's got that feel to it. But it's related, strangely enough, it don't look nothing like it, but it's related to the Amy shoe. Same plant family.
I can see that though. Does this produce the flowers at all?
Yeah, but they're so tiny you never notice them.
Can you use a chocolate?
I don't know. Again, I'd have never used it.
It seemed like you could use it for any kind of joint issues and stuff
That's my
though.
suspicion. It
Yeah.
feels topical, especially because the plant volatile chemicals are so close to the surface. You can just break it and smell it.
Yeah.
That's not true for all plants. Some plants you need to boil the shit out of them.
And then you can find it. Yeah.
Or you need to put it in alcohol, or you need to put it in fat, or whatever. But some of these other ones are right on the surface. You don't need to do all that.
Yeah. That goes straight to the brain too.
Yeah, which is why you would be careful about taking it
Mm-hmm.
internally.
So there's a lot of like vines like this too on the trees,
Yeah.
like on the pines and stuff like that.
This is called woodbine.
Wood vine.
Mm-hmm. And blood issues, I want to say.
Wood vine.
That's the one that grows up beside the house.
Because at first, at afar, before I walked up on it, it looked like an ivy.
Yeah.
And then when I walked in, I was like, that's not ivy.
Yeah. I think blood issues is what my thinking.
Oh, and it's 5-leaf.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's the same, it's just smaller. Okay. 155 right now.
I'm keeping time.
I know, because I know he has
Y'all
to.
get together and don't know how to.
It's true.
That's a good thing,
I
though.
was messing with
Good
Baba
people, good
before we
place.
came. I said it's gonna be like two pastors.
Meeting in the night.
That's how I grew up.
This is one of the 4 sacred woods other than indigenous